of the silver screen. He's a prolific critic, a champion of South African storytelling, and the founder of the renowned review platform Spling Films. Stephen, it's a pleasure to have you with us in the studio. So thank you so much for coming through.
It's great to be here, NK. So good.
By the way, Stephen, around Fridays, rarely people listen to radio, I think. They actually dive into movies. So for you, if you're at home now, you had to choose a movie to watch, what movie would you go for?
Sure, putting me on the spot.
Or even a TV series or a movie box set.
Sure. If I was at home now, the thing is that I'd probably be watching something with my wife.
Yeah.
And we've really been enjoying a couple of shows. There's one called Everwood.
Oh, really?
Which is on Netflix. And then The Middle, which is also a great sitcom with...
but that's an old one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're both like
both of them. Oh, okay,
2000 something,
I promise you, man, when it comes to selecting what to watch at the moment, I actually struggle because, one, I don't want to spend time wasting my energies watching something which is not good. And you might judge me for the next thing I'm going to say to you. Something that I've been getting into, I think they call it vertical cinemas. In other words, is these short stories from Japan that are on YouTube. And I love them. They've got the most predictable story ending, most overacting I've seen in the world, but it's quick. I can watch it in an hour, then I'm done.
The micro-dramas.
Oh, they call them micro-dramas.
I think that's what they call
I love them, man, especially the Korean ones, you know what I'm saying, with the dubbed English that looks so weird.
Yeah, I haven't actually immersed myself in that world yet.
Can I tell you, as a film critic, Steven, I promise you want to divorce yourself from that, because it's actually ridiculous way of storytelling, but somehow it's popular, people love it.
Yeah, a lot of people are getting into it because it's more accessible even for the people making them. Maybe I'll try and upscale what's happening there by doing some myself.
So it's okay. So Stephen, I know I've kind of briefly said who you are, what you do. If people want to get an in-depth understanding of who you are, can you quickly describe yourself and the kind of work that you do?
Yeah, so my name's Stephen Spling Aspeling, and I've been a film critic for going on 20 years soon. It's coming a bit too soon for my liking. But I started out writing a review a day on a blog called spling.coza, and then the website now is splingmovies.com. But I've basically been a film critic in the process of becoming a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And about 6 years ago, I started a boutique script consultancy called reviewmyscript.com. And from that platform, I've been getting... Basically, the reason that it happened was because filmmakers were approaching me and they were saying, well, I would rather have your review before I actually close off the final cut of the film. Because at least I've got a chance to make changes. And so I helped a couple of filmmakers in that way. And I thought, let me make this more of an official offering.
Yeah, actually, I've always wondered if you do get filmmakers who get you to watch their product before it airs on air, or not on air, or in the industry, whether it's on streaming devices or at the cinemas. So they actually do that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's I get people at various stages of the filmmaking process, whether it's at the stage of inception when they're sort of still coming up with the kernel of the idea. I've had people come to me at that point, and then I've also had people come to me when they've got the first cut of their film, and they realize that there might be something that needs to change. And then they give me a chance to weigh in at that point as well.
But now, as a film critic, does that force you to have a bias towards how you evaluate that film when it does eventually come out, or do you still give it a fair credit? Because I mean, if you watch what they want you to watch, right?
Yeah.
You're literally critiquing also your work.
Yes, and you're getting paid as well. So, it's quite a funny situation to be in, but I'll give you a very good answer to that. And that is that when someone actually gets me to review their work, I know it more intimately than if I'd seen it as an end user. So I know the intricacies and details of the problems that it's experienced, and hopefully I've been able to help them solve some of those problems. But I think I'm one of those people that if I'm connected with the film in that way, I'm actually going to probably judge it more harshly than I would be more generous, because I don't want to give it favor. I don't want to be biased. So I not only know the film intimately because it's been criticized and I've reviewed it already many times, but I know what the shortfalls are as well. So it's quite a funny balancing act.
Do people ever pay you to give a plausible review of their film in a way to get customers, like the first time it's released, at least they can get the buzz on the seat?
Yeah, so it's quite an interesting thing as well, because I'm untethered from the review. So what I'm trying to say is that when someone's asking me to watch their film, I'm still going to review it the way I'm going to review it anyway. But I do offer the opportunity for people that are wanting to help get their film out there, promotional opportunities for like sneak preview screenings. I've done like introductions for those. I've built custom campaigns for films that are wanting to promote their trailer or any details about an upcoming release. So it's a bit of both, actually. But the thing is that the review is independent. So yeah.
And I've also been following your recent updates on what you're doing at the moment, and I know you've just launched a new shorts series called Ask Spling, Real Talk and Real Life. It's a fascinating pivot because it suggests that you're looking more into just more than cinematography. You're looking at the soul of the story. So what prompted you to start connecting with the dreamscape of film to the reality of everyday life?
So it's a good question. Thanks, NK. I think that what I really wanted to do is give a different side to Spling, because I think people mostly know me for the 12 years I did with Talking Movies on FMR. And there were 650 consecutive episodes over that time. And I had a very specific way of reviewing films. And I think people really appreciated the way that I did it. But it wasn't like it was like scripted. And I think when I'm just talking in a real way, it's very different to how it sounds when I'm just doing something that's scripted. And the Ask Spling series is really a Q&A series where I'm asking people to actually leave a question or answer the question that I'm asking and answering as well. So when I say, what is your favorite film of all time, I answer it, but I'm also expecting other people to chip in with their answers as well. So I'm really trying to create this big conversation. But I'm not limiting it just to film. That's why it's Real Talk, REEL, and Real Life, because I want people to go to that thing and go like, okay, I'm kind of interested to know how Spling got into film criticism, but actually, what does he think about what's happening with this situation here or there, and get his take on that, not just on film.
I know for most people tuning to this show, they know I am literally working in the film industry, and stuff like that excites me a lot, because literally when I'm hanging out with friends, we talk a lot about movies. Like, one thing I'm always interested in is to know, for example, what are your top 5 movies of all time for myself. And I've literally have them written on my notepad in my on my phone, just in case someone does ask me that question.
I'm going to ask you, what are your top 5?
Okay, I'm not gonna say them in any particular order, right? But every film, there's a reason why it's there.
Yeah.
One of those films is Mary Poppins.
Wow. Okay. You just threw a spanner in the works.
Mary Poppins, literally, for me, that was the first time I was watching a movie, and I saw SFX, if you can put it that way.
Yeah.
I was fascinated by them, and up to this age now, I still know probably 90% of the songs. I can sing along to them. So if I ever have kids, we're definitely watching Mary Poppins, And I'm such a purist to the extent that when they released the, I don't know what they call it now, when you release a film, a newer version of the film. A
re-release or a...
Yeah. I didn't watch it because I didn't want it to spoil the fun I had as a child. So Mary Poppins, Men on Fire.
Denzel.
I've got Gladiator.
Yeah. Classic. Ridley. Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, man. Oh, The Godfather. Now, I classify The Godfather 1 and 2 as one film because both of them, for me, they made me laugh from even more just watching them. Super long, but they are probably the best thing I've ever watched. I absolutely love them. And the 5th one, I don't even think you know it yourself. If you know it, I'll be very, very impressed. The film is called The Blues Brothers.
I do know it.
What do you think of The Blues Brothers?
It's wild. It's wild with all the cars flying everywhere, and I watched it a little while ago, and Dan Aykroyd and Jim Belushi was his brother.
Wow, you've got.
It's an American classic and also a cult classic as well.
Yeah, absolutely love that film. Now, you also mentioned the desire to create more space for entertainment journalists and movie critics in an age of instant social media reactions. Do you feel the craft of professional criticism is at a crossroads?
Yeah, I think film criticism has changed quite a lot. We've gone from print media to digital. That was a massive jump. And I think the dinosaurs of the print age are still kind of out there, but it's a dying breed.
Yeah.
And now, I think with the internet as well exploding like it did, everyone suddenly had a loudspeaker. We're all on the same battlefield, you know.
Yeah.
And I think now that it's starting to get like a diamond, you know, with the internet, it's sort of shaped outwards.
Yeah.
And now it's coming to sharpen back to the other point.
Yeah.
Because we're now realizing that we've got too many opinions. We've got too many people shouting their mouths off and not enough actual quality substance in terms of expertise, in terms of people saying, well, you know, I've earned this place, I've got a voice in this arena, and, you know, sort of sharpening their views and actually being able to give people the kind of information they really need rather than just sort of punting whatever they think and hoping it's right.
That's cool. So, and maybe talk about your creative hub. It's called Peak Valley Studios.
Peak Valley, yeah. So Peak Valley Studio is a fascinating little story. I met up with a guy who was buying a laptop bag through Marketplace. And we got to chatting and realized that we both knew my sister. And then I told him about Review My Script. And he said, let's have a chat, let's have a coffee. So I had a coffee with him. And then he showed me his space. He runs a media company in Muizenberg. And upstairs, we walked upstairs and we're in the loft and we're looking around and it's open. And he was looking to sort of have someone sublet the place. And then we stepped into the attic. And this is where the seed, the vision kind of took root, because I noticed that they had some recording equipment and they'd done some like rudimentary stuff there, but there were no floorboards. There was wires exposed. There was about 300 nails sticking through ceiling boards. There was no paint, and it was like a storage facility that had been forgotten to the sands of time. So walked in there, and then I thought, you know what? This could be, I mean, the sound quality of the space, the audio, the acoustic sound quality was great. So I just thought, you know what, this could be a recording space.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where the whole thing started just over a year ago. And
so what kind of stuff do you do in there? Like, if, for example, I'm guessing you are working with the public, like you get clients coming through. What kind of work do you guys do in there?
So it's a recording studio in terms of voiceovers. It's a recording studio in terms of podcasts. That's actually where I record Weekend Watch List and Ask Spling. So that's the space I recorded in. If you want to have a look at it, it's peakvalleystudio.coza. And, you know, that's where you can see some photos. It's quite early stages still. It's quite like grungy. Like the logo is a cassette tape with like writing Peak Valley Studio on it, because it is quite like low key but retro in its own way. And I'm trying to like get it to that sort of high level that places like CCFM are operating at. But it's still very much a work in progress, but getting there and trying to. I'm wanting to do more in the way of audio drama as well. So just looking at a whole lot of my own projects, but then also inviting people in to record their podcasts, their voiceover demos, and anything to do with sound, and even video podcasts, is even photography. It's a space.
And I also know podcasting, that's a big thing. Someone might be thinking of even starting a podcast. I'm guessing they can
get in
connect
touch
to you, and and how can people get in touch with you if they want to connect?
So you just search Spling and you'll find me one way or another.
Yeah, that's true.
If you search Spling, it's like there are a couple of websites I'm connected with. Reviewmyscript.com for scripts and film advice, and then peakvalleystudio.coza, that's for the studio upstairs in Muizenberg, and it's in Palmer Road.
Before we finish off, right, I just realized like 15 minutes not enough time to actually discuss in-depth topics that even questions that I had for you. Just a quick question: do you also do screenplays?
Yes.
Do you get hired to do screenplays? How does that process work?
Yes, I've just actually started the final touches of a post-apocalyptic neo-western.
Oh, wow.
It's actually quite in touch with the CCFM thing, because it's based on a Christian series and a Texan author. And I probably can't give you too much more information than that, but we just put the pilot episode script together for that. So it's not just film. I've also just done this TV project. and have got my own short film coming up, but maybe we should save some of that.
Yeah, I think I should have you back. So please let me know when it's possible to bring you back into studio. Probably make it half an hour more, not just 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that will be beneficial to our listeners tuning tonight. And just maybe to follow up on that. Oh man, I've got all these questions fired up in my head now. Do you have a specific genre of what you write? For example, like you get drama, you get thrillers. Do you have a specific thing that you prefer? And I'm asking because, like, say for example, right, if I write a drama script, can I come to you and say, listen, I've written this, I know that it's not as solid as it could possibly be, or you have a specific genre that you prefer working on? You'd rather people don't come to you for specific stuff, you want them to come for other, if that makes sense.
It does make sense, and the answer is that I work on just about anything. So I don't have a specific genre that I tend towards. It's a bit like Hitchcock was basically doing the same sort of idea, man on the run, scared of the police.
Yeah.
Most of his films cover those themes.
Yeah.
But I don't know what story is, if I was a director, that I'd be telling the whole time. But I have written a psychological thriller that's
comedy.
Comedy. I can work with comedy. Actually, this murder mystery that we've written, my co-writer and I, Matthew Khalil, we're wanting to stage it at the Mosque, and it's basically an audio drama that we have got called. It's called. I'm actually going to give you the name now.
Yeah.
To kill a hardy-dar.
Is it the hardy-dars, are those stupid little bears that
you instead of To Kill a Mockingbird, it's To Kill a hardy-dar.
Dope. I like that. Yeah,
I'm glad you're laughing.
It will resonate with a lot of South Africans. And by the way, the reason why I'm laughing is I've had so many nights where I'm editing and I want to get to bed quickly as possible because I've probably got work to do. And before I know it, that bear is screaming outside, and that tells me the morning is broken and there's no way. And I hate that. I always think those bears spoil my whole plans. And it's happened countless of times. So
suburban roosters.
Exactly. And I'm sure a lot of South Africans tuning in can relate to that, because those bears can be a big menace, you know.
Oh yeah, they can make a racket.
Yeah. Stephen, thanks for coming through. I definitely have to have you back as soon as possible. You let me know when that'll be convenient for you. We'll get you back in the studio and maybe even discuss things like podcasting, because I know a lot of our listeners probably want to have their voice heard out there and see how they connect with you, with the work that you work, and maybe you guys can come up with something, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love to do it.
Any last thing you want to say before we...
Yeah. So it's... Ask Spling is the one short series that I've just started. We're on like episode 3. For the last 4 and a bit months, I've been doing another series called Weekend Watch List. And that is where I give people an idea of what to watch over the weekend. So
yeah, I agree with that, man. The last thing I want to do is
stop scrolling, start watching.
Literally, the way I watch films at the moment is through recommendations, because there's tons of content out there. And every time I watch a film, it's literally like watching. I'm an Arsenal football supporter, right? I feel like there's a similarity between me watching films and Arsenal. If Arsenal plays for 90 minutes and they lose, I feel like I've wasted my life, my time, and I'm angry with us. So I think people would greatly appreciate to connect with you with your watch list, and then they can have an idea why they're watching it and what to expect and all that. I think that's super important.
Yeah, it's just like a filter so that you can sift through the get some of the good stuff delivered straight to you, so you're not actually scrolling endlessly, you're just going straight for the good stuff.
Awesome. Stephen, thanks so much for coming through.
Thanks,
we'll have you back again as soon as possible.
Awesome. Thanks,
man.